All right. Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gather your popcorn, gather your cup of water. Today, we finally enter the Elven Kingdom of Elendor. It's been a long time coming, and of course, Jacob isn't here. We think he accidentally fell asleep, so unfortunately, he is not going to be here at the moment. But that's okay. The story must go on. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Hello, hello. Ugh, today's been a long day for me. And by long day, I mean it's been a long 4 hours that I've been awake. I didn't wake up until almost 3 p.m. today. Barely got anything done. Thank God I did most of the preparing last night. Because, if I waited until this morning to do everything, I would not have had everything ready for today. I honestly would have called it off today. But, it's gonna be fine. We had an impromptu session last week, which actually turned out pretty well. So you know what? I think we'll be okay. I also have to stop staying up so late watching anime. Alright. Well, regardless, we have a session to get to today, and there's a lot to cover, so let's go in and discover exactly what everybody is at least planning to do, and how they're going to be getting into Elendor.
I'm eating a bag of Ruffles right now, and they're some of the biggest ass chips I've ever, motherfucking whole ass potato sized chips. I feel like I'm eating a goddamn board of potato.
I mean, have you never eaten a raw potato before?
I have.
Okay.
In all honesty.
I have done so numerous
But I feel
times.
it feels they're so long that it feels like I'm just walking into the board of potato directors and being like, here's my application, can I have a job?
All right. So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
All right. So, I am out of lead for my pencil, so every single note that I have to be taking today is going to be completely in ink.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Permanent.
Everything that happens today is permanently canon. But if I don't write it down, it doesn't exist.
Well, shit, guys. We better not fuck this up.
Does that mean we can write 8 off for? Does that mean 8 no longer exists?
Well, I mean, Jacob not being here is bad, of course, because we don't have his interactions and his inputs and stuff. But at the same time, it's also a good thing because you guys are going to be breaking into the kingdom today and doing whatever else you plan on doing in order to get into the archives.
Yeah.
Step 1, find the bitch.
So I'm glad I just did a dice cleansing because holy shit.
Yeah, let me go through my spells real quick and see which ones I need to prep for the day.
Yeah. So last week, everybody gathered up. I believe we finished up our conversations with the kitsunes in Asavira.
Yes.
Had a little spiritual journey going on between Silky and 8. 8 actually discovered. Yeah, 8 actually discovered why her powers weren't working correctly. And that was mostly due to the fact that her powers originate from a much more ancient form of druidic magic, aka skinwalking, that mostly revolves around the premise of lycanthropy. And meanwhile, you guys heard a strange voice come from Silky saying to help them, to mend them.
Yeah, we're still working on that one.
When you first said that, I just had the meme pop in my head. Help me! Help me!
So, you guys spoke with the kitsunes, wished them farewell as they pointed you off in the direction of one of their mages, actually. His name is Kodo, who you guys come to find out is the awoken cat that told y'all to fuck off when you guys first arrived in Elendor. And after...
For good reason, I've heard.
And after some...
Jacob was being...
Yeah, Jacob was being a bit of a dick. But after some very trivial riddles for you guys convinced Kodo to help you break into the kingdom. At the same time, offer him payments by allowing him to follow you into the archives.
Yeah, I'm
Honestly, if this archives trip goes anything... Here's the thing. With the first archives, we found a mouse. The second archives are gonna have this cat. The third one better be a dog.
And what comes after the dog?
Monkey.
I was gonna say varieties of lizards, but okay, monkey works too.
Specifically so I could spank the monkey.
Nope, we're going back to lizards, Joe.
Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and pick up just roughly after you guys spoke with Kodo. Now, the question that I have for you all, and I think I already know the answer to this. Do you have a plan?
Absolutely not.
Step one to the plan was find a way into the city. Now we figure out the rest of the plan.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's no reason to make a plan if we can't even get into the place in the first place, so.
That is true.
Now we gotta figure out how to find the place. And then we make the plan.
That is my bad.
Oh my god, it lives.
He's alive.
Were you taking a nap?
No, but I might have to get a new thing for my computer.
Oh.
A new
display
what thing?
port.
A new display.
Wow, the video card?
Wait, did your graphics card kill itself?
Slowly. That, or it's actually the
port itself.
the port itself.
Oh, I pray
Or
that it's
my
just the
port.
port. Yeah, I pray that the worst thing is the port, because, ew.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing
For real.
more tests later.
Well, Rusty, you win the bet.
But for now, I'm going to have my stream down until everything's all fixed.
Yeah, that's okay. If you want the files or something to post on your channel, then I can give you the files, no problem.
Yeah, we'll work with that later.
Correct.
I am logging in now.
All right.
About damn time! Holy crap!
That was a little late one, KP.
I just got back. I had to go.
I mean,
I had to go take cough medicine because I'm hacking up a lung here.
All right. Well,
Jacob,
luckily,
honestly, we're so fucking relieved because we're like, we're about to go into your plot and you're not here. And we're like, oh fuck.
it's all right. You
Well,
didn't miss much. We just did a recap.
Yeah, recap.
And so, like I was saying, we're going to be picking up, like, as you guys are speaking with Kodo. Kodo would have hopped down from the tree and then started guiding you guys through the forests that surround the kingdom of Elendor. And basically, he's going to look back at you all and say, so, explain to me, you have a plan to break into one of the most secured archives in the world.
Yeah, you.
That's dear. Oh, what a joke.
Who's joking?
We didn't formulate a plan just yet, Coda, because A, we don't know where the archives is, and B, we weren't even sure we'd be able to get into the city.
Oh, well.
So we gotta take it step by step, you know.
Well,
If we think too far ahead, then we're never gonna get past step 1.
well, luckily for you, entering the city is not going to be the problem. Breaking into the castle, however, that's a whole different story. And if you truly believe that I'm the one who's going to assist you to break into there, well, you have another thing coming.
What could you tell us
we'll
about
find
the
a way.
castle's defenses?
Well, I assume that you all do know, Elendor has been known to be one of the most magically acclimated kingdoms in all of Luavara. Well, if you were to compare it to the rest of the world, however, you would be quite disappointed. You would be
What do you
quite
mean?
They rely
disappointed.
too much on magic.
Not as much as Astria.
Fair enough.
Not as much as Astria. That entire region is completely shrouded in magic. Ruled by dragons, nonetheless.
Interesting.
Yeah, more dragons.
All right.
Elendor...
So we talking like a bee?
Hmm?
No, continue. You know more than I do.
Yes. Well, Elendor, of course, shrouded its walls in magical stone. Almost impenetrable by normal means, unless if you have a decent, large enough army in order to break through it. Not everything is indestructible, however. But if you are as intelligent and as smart as I am, you of course know that there are cracks in these walls.
Of course. How would you suggest we exploit these cracks?
Yeah, simple. You just walk right through them. The problem that you're going to be running into is mostly blending in. Elendor welcomes outsiders, however, it is... let's just say limitations. Because the elves see themselves as high superior beings compared to the rest of the world. And the only reason why they cooperated with the rest of the world was thanks to the treaty that was signed a long time ago with the Kingdom of Silence. However, since the fall, Elendor has been practically focusing mostly on itself, ridding monsters of its path and welcoming their ancestors back into the material plane. I'm assuming some of you must have run into a few of the Fey, considering that one of them is following you.
Looks at the mushroom. Yeah, we had a couple encounters.
Yes. Well, that was strictly due to the lockdown that Elendor has had, and clearing out most of the larger threats to this part of the region. Ellison's going to speak up and say, well, that's part of the reason why a lot of guides practically lost their jobs. It became much more of a stricter position if you don't know anything about Fey. You are correct, young lady. Monsters are mindless creatures that have the capability of just nothing but destruction and death. Fey, however, are pesky creatures, you could say. They're bored, mostly. Living in a plane that is strictly ruled by fairies, and of course the mother fairy, it tends to get rather boring over times, and they see most of the material races as toys, nonetheless. And once Elendor decided to start opening up back to the Feywild, some fairies may have gone through and do as they do best.
Okay. So I'm wondering, and you may be able to answer or not, is all their magical systems kind of like a beehive where they're very fiercely defending on the outside, but the second you're inside, they don't do jack because they never expect anyone to get inside?
Well, it was that way until the Council of Elendor learned of the fall of Dandelier.
Alright.
Since the fall of the Dandelier Council reached the public, Elendor has amped up its security almost tenfold.
It's almost like they fear the same thing happening.
Well, of course
Because they know
of
that-
course they do. And considering that you folk are the reasons for the destruction of the Dandelier Council, well,
It's also a good thing that's not public knowledge.
and that must be good, considering that somehow they do not know who did it, or how they did it.
I mean, the easiest answer I think we were told is accident.
So, with your knowledge, at least of the Dandelier archives, surely you must have some sort of an infiltration plan to the Elven Castle.
Yeah, if we find tieflings, banish them.
It's not the point, Alistair.
Well, he
I
said
know.
infiltration.
Well, we originally got into the dwarven archives via the sewage system.
We weren't even initially going into the archives. We were just trying to break people out of prison.
Ah, I see. The archives were just a separate option then.
We ran into the ex-king of Dandelier down there, who's like, "Hey, you should go into the archives." And we're like, "Well, who are we to argue with you giving us the password to your super secret room?"
I'm telling us where it is.
Well, Miss Eris, do you happen to know where your father and your mother built the archives?
I'm guessing I have to roll a history for that one.
History, yes.
Just making sure.
Dun dun dun. Well, it's better than his normal histories.
Hey, at least my history is above a 10 this time.
The best thing that you can recall is like a small reading den in the castle somewhere.
Well, you know it's inside the castle with shocker.
No, the archives being built beneath the castle would be the most secure place for them.
An old keep like that has to have multiple different entrances that we can theoretically exploit.
Okay. Just real quick, everybody in chat, I put in a buff that you're going to have to add.
What is this buff for?
This buff is something I can do multiple times a day called enhancement. It's a part of my arcane traditions. I'll put it in chat for you.
That's a good spell.
Not a spell.
Oh.
All right. So after meandering through the forest a little bit and talking with Kodo, he eventually brings you to a part of the wall that's covered by a large canopy of trees, in between two guard towers. He looks up and he says, "Here we are. This is one of the only 3 blind spots throughout the entirety of this wall." He's gonna walk on up to the wall. He's gonna sit down. All right, on you get. And you guys are just looking at him like, okay, as you're staring directly at a solid wall.
I also trust the cat. He's just gonna walk straight forward.
All right, you walk straight on forward, and you guys witness Alistair just vanish through the wall. Alistair, make a reflex
Illusion
save.
magic.
Um,
Oh boy.
Sorry, give me a second. There we go.
All right, so you just barely avoid the ceiling of this little tunnel smacking you in the face.
Thank God I rolled an 8.
All right.
Hey,
Gonna follow through then.
everybody
Cozy.
therefore passes through the secret tunnel and enters the roads of the Elven Kingdom.
I'm gonna look at Coda and be like, hey, is there anything that the Elven guards would do at the gate that we should be aware of so it looks like we actually went through them?
No, actually, if you were to go straight through the gate, they would of course analyze you magically, disable any illusionary magic that you have available, and which would have been bad for the princess back there.
Yep. All right, sounds good. So there's no permits, or we know who's in the city. Blah 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 blah.
Yes. You might also want to go ahead and check in through the Adventurers Guild, so that way they know you're here.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Now, he's gonna take a seat right in front of you all and look up. Since you all do not have any sort of plan, I am going to go into the city and talk to some of my eyes and ears, per se. I'm going to go speak with some of my informants and see if there's any way that we can use information that they have gathered to assist you breaking into the castle.
That's very much appreciated, because that was basically what we were gonna try and do, but probably fail horribly at.
8. Is there anyone you can think of who might still possibly be on your side here?
It's been so long. I'm not sure who would be left.
Well,
Does anyone
perhaps
like
if
beating me to...
perhaps if Koda has a list of some people, he can make inquiries on if they're still around.
Miss Eris, as far as I am aware, your mother and father were against your banishment, correct?
Correct.
Getting a message to them would be quite difficult, though.
So the king and queen were against the banishment of 8 killing...
Of me being
of
unalive.
Framed for
Yeah.
murder.
Yeah.
Did you happen to have any servants that you were close to? Former teachers, friends, anyone?
Some random pastry shop owner who you gave a
I
gold
would-
piece one time and made their day.
Probably my druid teacher at the time. probably a few others as well, but
Throw out a random name for the
A
druid teacher.
nursemaid, even?
random druid bitch here.
The druid teacher actually is a pretty good lead because druids are excellent at infiltration. Normally.
Very well. I shall see what I can do.
Thank you, Coda. We very much appreciate it.
I'll track you all down once I find something.
Alright, so at this point, I think we should break into a couple groups. One group goes to the guild, we check in, we pick up some light work, make it look like we're here for legitimate purposes.
Make some money while we're at it.
Group B finds an inn, somewhere low-key, lots of adventurers.
There's this one inn we could go to.
If you know a place, that's great. You need a fake name, and I'm gonna point at 8. So what are we calling you? Because I'm assuming your name's not common.
Oh yeah, you missed what everyone called me.
Oh, is there an actual already fake name?
Yeah, Talia, I believe it was.
Alright. So Talia, if you go with Elven,
We can find
See what you can-
lodgings.
Let's hope my
What?
father's old drinking place is still available.
I would assume Elven knows good places to be in the city, considering she comes through here every now and then.
I know a couple of places.
Ragnar, go with them. Just because, let's be honest, you're Captain Moneybags.
So split into 2 groups here.
Yep. Silky and Aristella. I'm gonna say Xavier, you come with me. We'll go to the guild because we're usually the people interacting with the guild.
Yep.
You two choose who you want to go with, or you can, if you have another idea for a third prospective location to go scout out.
Perhaps the library for local events that may have occurred since since Talia
That's
left.
true. That's a good call, actually. Silky and Aristella, can you mill about, go to library, current events?
I think we can handle that.
All right. Xavier, who has a sending stone?
Uh,
I think Ragnar and Silky.
Ragnar and Silky have. Ragnar's got the one that goes to his bride to be. Silky's got the one that goes to the farm, and I got the one that goes to Talone.
Okay. So we'll eventually just have to. Let's meet up. Talia, what's a recognizable building that we can meet up in front of in a couple hours?
I mean, the
It's at
library.
random.
I mean, the library is pretty out there. It's probably
Alright.
one of the most recognizable.
And let's meet in front of the library. And Josh, what time of day would you say it is?
It's probably about midday-ish right now.
So let's meet in front of the library around 5, and then we'll migrate ourselves to the inn, giving all of our information-oriented teams to gather information. Not to mention, if you're gonna go to an inn, nothing beats gathering information like drunk idiots. We all good with this idea?
So
Yeah.
Savian and Alistair are going to the guild house. Silky and Aristella are going to the library. Meanwhile, 8, Ragnar, Elzen, and Sos are going to find an inn, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
find lodging / also just listen to the population, I guess, to an extent.
People watching. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the thought process here is we have to make it look like we're here for legitimate reasons as much as possible. So we gotta do everything normally, but also everyone has the secondary objective of listen. Figure out what's going on, hear the news about town, rumors, things like that.
Sounds good to me. All right.
I may not
let's
have
see.
the highest intelligence score here, but I damn well know how to use it.
All right. First things first, we could start off with Silky and Aristella. Have them roll their perceptions to find anything within the library.
Do, 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 do.
Big Scary Dog 1 and Big Scary Dog 2 are off on a mission.
All right. Next up, we can say is Xavian and Elistar.
Whee!
Present.
Head into the guild hall. You know, you check in with the guild master. Of course, you give the name of your adventuring group. Say, hey, we're just looking for a couple of like odd jobs, passing by, whatever. Okay. Did you want to maybe like talk to some people or?
So, I guess first thing we're gonna like look at the job board, see if there's anything that catches our eyes as this is interesting.
Sure. Give me a
Like
perception roll.
this is not like like a job that's like this is a weird job.
Yeah. Perception rolls. All right,
Thank you for
Alistair.
pressing.
Yeah, Alistair doesn't see it. Xavian, however, you guys are just browsing around the adventure board. Alistair's like picking a couple off, just reading them. Xavian, you happen to notice that there are a lot of quests that are made specifically by the Elven Council themselves, with their official stamp and marking on the request. And their requests outnumber the civilian and business owner quests available.
Are they all similar types of jobs, or are they all like different, just random things?
It's a slew of different jobs that need to be done. Some of them are transports, construction, slayer. They range from every single every single part of the job spectrum.
The hell happened there?
Hey, Alice, are you seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it now that you pointed it out. I say we grab one of the lower level jobs for like, just their busy work around town. That way we can get the scoop from the guild
All right.
So we're just gonna pull like a I guess construction. I don't know. Like, is there any jobs for just moving goods throughout the cities, Josh?
Yes, actually, there is a couple of jobs pertaining mostly to the movement of like a shipment between two different areas within the city.
He is gone.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, I think something's wrong with Discord because I even closed out for a second there.
A
Came
forced
back.
update, maybe?
Possibly.
There he is.
There we go. I returned.
But yeah, you mostly find a couple of like odd jobs regarding like moving shipments between two specific parts of the city.
All right, let's grab one of those then, and then we'll go up to the desk.
All right.
Right,
To,
just
eh,
pluck one of them off the board, head on over. And of course, you're in the Elven Kingdom.
It's an elf.
Elven Guildlass. Which of course give you a bright smile and say, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So you have found a quest for your group?
Yes, we did. Not much work, but it's good enough. It's good work, you know. Just something to hold us over as we're going in between cities. I noticed up there though, there's a lot of. I've never seen this in any other boards. There's a lot of jobs just put on from the local government.
Yes, the council has been enacting a lot of requests recently, mostly to just clean up the kingdom.
I mean, like just pick up litter and trash, or just like get rid of monsters along the roads.
Basically, they're working with the adventuring guilds to establish a more safer part of the world and offering much more handsomely than the Adventurers Guild can do on their own.
Well, you know what they say, coin talks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't let me keep you and tie up your day. And I'm gonna just fill out the paperwork, yada yada, do the rigmarole. Rusty, you got anything you wanna chit chat about while I'm filling out paperwork?
No, I'm just mainly, while he's doing that, keeping an eye out, keeping an ear out.
Alright, give me a perception roll. Okay, Xavian is very aware of his surroundings today.
Well, I think the entire party's on high alert all day, this entire time.
Understandable. Okay.
Do they taste the rainbow through their eyeballs yet?
So you guys receive your job. You start making your way out.
Yep.
Josh, were the general like vibes of the place like a standard adventuring guild?
Yeah, it was actually pretty quiet in there. There were maybe like 2-3 groups of people that were there. Some solos, a couple duos. But overall, yeah, it was pretty average.
It's weird that it was so quiet. I wonder it's because there's so much work going on.
Maybe.
Alright. 8, Ragnir, Elizin, and Sos.
Yes.
Yee.
Alright, Elizin is going to be bringing you guys across the town. Give me just a second. Across the town to a tiny little inn. Kind of close to the center of town, actually. And you guys look up above the door, and you guys see a sign that reads "Ye Old Pike Tavern."
Hmm.
Elzen turns and looks at Ragnar and 8 and says, "This is the best place that I know of."
I crack my knuckles. It's like, oh, this place looks like it's in need of a deep clean. Let's go.
Just let me do the talking.
Oh. Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. So you guys walk on into the tavern. There's a couple of patrons nearby. And then you hear like somebody sitting at the table next to you guys just lift up her head and say, "Welcome to the Old Pike. What do you want?" And this is the person you see.
No, you're going to be owning a tavern.
She's an elf. Don't underestimate.
You just get like a little slap in the back across your head. Like,
Gotta love the casual Ragnar racism.
Ellison's gonna look at her and cross her arms and say, "You know, you still need to work on your attitude. Not to mention, it's a little early for you to be drinking." "Yeah, well, where have you been? You haven't been here in 2 months?" "Ren, I told you I have to find work. And there's plenty of work here in the city. You didn't have to go again. Why is he still with you?" She just gestures her cup of ale, says, "You know why. It was the filthy one of the pipsqueak. These are the people who I am guiding. Ren, be nice."
How does it feel, Ragnar, for having the shoe on the other foot?
Just great.
Talia, Ragnar, this is Ren Belhi. She's the owner of this establishment.
pleasure to meet you.
I'm thinking you might have to jab Ragnar.
She's just gonna take a big drink out of her glass and say, "So what do you want, Elzen? My companions need a place to stay. If you don't mind, I would like for them to at least stay here with somebody who I can trust." "Times are tough around here, Elzen. Can your friends afford it here?"
How much is it a night?
"Room and board, or do you just need a place to crash?"
Room and board.
3 gold. A night, Ren? Ren's just gonna look at Ellison, slam her mug down, and say, "As I said, Ellison, if your friends can't afford to stay here, you can find somewhere else to stay."
Ragnar, how long do you think we'll be here for?
I don't think any of us have that idea.
That's a hard one to say.
How much
We
for
could
just
pay-
a room?
We could pay as it goes on, like pay each day, or we can set up for a week, and if we don't stay the entire week, maybe get that portion refunded. Usually how it works. Like you put a deposit down.
I could work with that.
Alright. And I just open up my bag and says, for a 1 week, you said 3 gold a night, right?
It'd be 21 gold as a deposit.
Alright.
What? Like,
Bless you. Bless you.
Oh dear lord.
I'm sorry, man. You're out of blesses.
That's completely fair and understandable. I've never sneezed 4 times in a row. Ow, that hurt.
Yeah, no. She would hand over 21 gold.
she's gonna reach into her bag, pull out a key, and just toss it to you. You're staying in room 6. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get back to what I was doing. Alright, let's go, guys.
Following along. As we're out of earshot. Well, she was nice.
She just has a lot riding on her.
You could tell. Not many people other than dwarves get drunk that early in the morning.
Ren is something special.
Well, if you trust her.
Believe me, she's a kind heart. But, like I said, she just has a lot going on.
More like a bleeding heart. Alright.
You could say that.
I guess that's something we'll talk about later then. Because now you have my curiosity. Oh, one more thing. I want to go visit Magic Shop. But something caught my attention back when we were discussing with the Kitsunes. They had these magical markings on them that glowed. I've seen markings like that before, and that's really what has me intrigued. Do you have any idea?
Are
I'm
you
also-
talking about magical tattoos?
Magical tattoos. That's a thing?
Oh, yeah. Some mages have the capabilities of inscribe. Some mages have the abilities of inscribing magic runes in the form of tattoos on their skin. And when they need them most, they just activate the runes in order to use the magic.
You know a shop?
I know of a place where you can get it done, but it's not exactly a cheap or a pleasant process.
That's fine. Not necessarily looking to get a tattoo myself. More along the lines of learning the process myself. So I would like to get a little bit more information on it. If you don't mind taking me there. Or pointing me in the direction, either one.
Yeah, I can take you there.
Much appreciated.
Sos, go with 8 and go find the others. Bubble.
Oh, one more thing, real quick. I lean into 8. Well, I lean over to 8 and I motion for you to come down to my level. Do you do so?
Yes, I get down to your level.
Okay. Hey, listen. You wouldn't happen to have a cash bar, would you?
Not much left.
How much you got?
20 gold. Remember, I remember I was the one who got robbed from the Fey.
Yeah.
We also haven't like worked in a
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yeah, our expenses have been going down, not up, recently.
But I'll say, if everything goes well, there might be a chance I can help you fund that later.
Fund what? Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll see you later. I'm going to have to work my charms.
Just see how much it is first.
Well, I'll cast this when we get close.
So Sos is going to be following 8 back to the rest of the group. Meanwhile, Ragnar, Ellison, and Aelin are going to be making their way deeper into the city. Alright, Silky and Aristella. The two of you don't necessarily find anything besides just things that the party would already end up discovering. Mostly about the council just enacting on clearing out a lot of like the more dangerous monsters in the forests. The enacting of the Feywilds and the material plane cooperating with each other, sharing knowledge with each other, and allowing creatures to go to and from, but it's very, very limited. But knowing the Fae, of course, they don't really care about those limits, as fairies and such have been making their way through and causing havoc.
They're
But
like cats, they do what they want.
yeah, exactly. But other than that, unfortunately, you don't really find anything. Alright, Ragnar. Ellison eventually takes you down to a part of the city where she calls over Aelin and then specifically instructs him to guard as she pulls up her hood.
Oh, Shady's part of town. Okay.
Like I said, it's not exactly a good thing. But like I said, I do know a couple people who have them. Alright, I'm gonna move the rest of the party to the side for a second here. So, Ellison's gonna take you down the part of the city, and you're gonna come across a couple of buildings that look a little, like, worn down. You know, moss is starting to overtake it, nature's starting to retake this area. Vines and different trees are growing all over the place. She walks up to one of the older buildings, knocks on the door, and you hear this raspy voice on the other side of it. And you hear it say, "A password if you would mind." Biscuits. The door opens up, and you see this little guy.
Oh.
Sid.
I was about to say, how many more rats have joined into your games ever since I joined you?
Ooh, Robinson. It's so nice to see you again. Have you come to shop for more wares, perhaps?
I'm here for information, Roderick.
Information, you say? Very pricey information is these days. And who is your little dwarven friend?
I remained silent.
So this is Ragnar. He's come. We're here looking for information on your tattoos.
Oh, the tattoo inscriptions. I see. Well, if you wish to learn more of it, it's better to show you in practice. So, come, Ragnar, please.
I follow the rat.
He's gonna like reach out his hand, his little rat hands. You're gonna see Ellison like smack him away. You're not using Ragnar as a test subject, Roderick. I know you
Thank
have
God you went with Elzen.
I know you have a book on this stuff. How much for the book?
You were never any fun, Ellison. You want my book on magical inscriptions? Well, you're gonna have to pay a very pretty penny in order to get it. It's very rare magic these days.
How much are we talking?
Well, $7,000. But of course, I am a very generous merchant, and if you have something to perhaps exchange of equal value, I would be more than happy to trade for it.
Oh God, I could do something really dirty.
Don't you dare sell anyone out.
Oh my God, I could do something incredibly dirty here.
What are you doing?
What
Just saying, you should have brought me along.
Would I do this?
Oh boy, Cody, what are you thinking?
What are you doing?
Oh God, I don't.
He's selling out
Okay.
someone. We just
He
don't know
is. I know he is.
I am. I quite literally am selling someone out.
Is it me?
Now, who? I can't remember which one was. Who is the bad sister? Felfrey, I believe.
But we don't know if Felfrey's actually evil.
Yeah, we don't know. So Ragnar doesn't know.
But
It's like-
Ragnar knows that we have doubts about it.
I understand that, but you know, he really wants this. It's like, well, I have something that doesn't really have a price tag to it. I have records from the what the hell was that called?
Oh god, you.
Oh, I know what he's doing now.
I'm going to sell the gene files to
Not all
Felfrey.
of them.
No, just Felfrey.
Oh god.
These are Genesis, the Genesis project. Have you heard of the Genesis project up in the northern part of the realm?
Oh,
Yes. The facility that was overran with experiments.
Give me a diplomacy roll.
Diplomacy. Boop.
experiments, you say?
Yes.
Go on.
Well, I so happen to get my hands on some of the gene files of said experiments, and they walk the realm today. These are incredibly rare creatures and incredibly rare info. So I'm willing to trade info for info, and you will never find anything like what I have. Where your book, I could potentially find somewhere else. But I have need of it now. So I'm willing to propose this trade even up.
Documents involving genetic altercation is a very, very specified field of study.
It is.
One of which I cannot sell almost immediately.
That is fair.
I
understand.
I will require insurance for it.
Insurance. What kind of insurance?
Something of value in which I can make a buck off of while I search for someone who would be looking for this info.
Well, unfortunately, the only thing I have of value currently on my persons would be a scroll of greater teleport. This would recover you half of the cost of the book. Would that suffice as insurance?
Perhaps any more information you may have? And I'll sweeten the deal for you. Give me something very juicy. And alongside of my book of magical inscriptions, I will also...
You're gonna see him like take off his big bag and he's just gonna like dive into it for a second. And he's gonna come back out with like this little jar of ink.
And I'll even go ahead and throw in some of my enchanted ink that goes with it. If you do happen to learn the inscription process, this ink will allow you to amplify whatever spell you put on the person's tattoo by at least 1 or 2 levels.
Interesting. All right. I'll take your deal. I have a bit of information that no one else in the world knows. You heard about the incident at Dandelier, correct?
What the fuck are you up to?
Oh, yes. Oh, dear kingdom falling apart.
What if I were to tell you that the king who has gone missing has been found and is now lying in wait to reclaim his kingdom?
Dear boy, people already know that.
That's fine. But the ones responsible for the
Elven, stop him.
the one responsible for the incident in Dandelier was none other than myself.
Ellison's gonna look at you as Ragnar. What are you doing?
I am the one responsible for the collapse of the kingdom.
That information is much more valuable. The deal is done then.
Deal is done.
He's gonna reach into his bag again. He's gonna hand you a leather bound book tied up in a really old black rag, and then he's gonna put the enchanted ink on top of it.
All right.
He's gonna fold his hands and he's gonna bow to you and say,
Enjoy your studying. And thank you, Ellison, for bringing such a wonderful customer today.
I'm gonna kill him.
he's gonna shut the
That was
door.
really stupid.
Ellis is just gonna stare at the door and say, I seriously hope you know what you were doing was right.
Regardless, who's going to get out eventually.
Well, he only sold himself out. He didn't sell out the whole party.
Yeah, we're guilty by association, Jacob. It doesn't take a rocket. It doesn't take a genius to figure out. Well, if Ragnar did that, and all these other people are with him all the time,
Like he could do it himself? Are they seriously going to believe that he could pull it off by himself after they meet him?
Never know what he's capable of.
Whatever.
There's
Just
a lot
'cause
of
they don't know
questions.
doesn't mean
There's a lot of questions,
believe it.
not a lot of proof.
Whatever. Let's just go. You're gonna be the one that's telling the rest of them, though.
No, I ain't going to say shit. Neither are you.
It's just a face bomb.
Right?
This is not something we should keep from them, Ragnar.
Yeah. It's. Come on now.
They're too chicken shit. They're scared of a little information.
No, Roderick.
This isn't a...
Roderick is scared of the information. The people who he might feed that information to are not. We're on a time limit now.
If you say so.
Right. Finally, everybody meets back up together. So yeah, everybody pretty much just meets back together. Elzen, Ragnar Elzen and Ragnar each show you guys where the tavern is in which you're staying. But you notice that Elzen is very, very distressed.
Or
Why do
Ragnar
I
is
feel like
giddy as a schoolgirl.
Why do I feel like Ragnar did something incredibly stupid?
He did.
That would be correct.
How incredibly stupid is incredibly stupid here? Like, we're all fucked incredibly stupid, or Ragnar sold his soul to a devil?
Well, that all
Depends
depends if what you
on your
guys are
definition.
saying is true. Let's go to our rooms to talk about this.
Alright, sounds good. To the room! Hi, angry barkeep lady.
Alright, so as everybody gathers up into the room, Elzen shuts the door. She just comes straight out with it. She just comes straight out with it and says, "This little shit basically sold all of you out for a book."
What?
I sold myself out. They have nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
What
guilty
did you
by
do?
association, Ragnar. These people aren't idiots. They're going to piece together that the people you were traveling with also helped you in that.
What did you do, Ragnar?
I sped up the process.
If you're talking about making beer, great. If you're talking about something else, no. What did you speed up the process for, Ragnar?
The Underground basically knows you guys were responsible for the destruction of Dandelier's council.
Ragnar.
The longer we could keep that a secret, the less chance we have of, getting fucked with, because we're nameless adventurers.
And you had to release that here
But we're
In
trying
in the
to
middle of everything we're trying to do.
To probably
for a
one,
fucking
Break
book.
in the archives,
to probably
which is
one.
Do
guarded
you-
by a council.
Do you realize that once the city gets wind of that, and the Elven Council does, security's going to tighten tenfold? You might have just trapped us in here, Ragnar.
Well, then I guess we better work fast.
If I know Roderick, we have 3 days.
Oh dear.
This was never
Lord.
supposed to be a do things quickly job. This was supposed to be a get our information, get our ducks in a row, and then go when the time is right job. And you just completely destroyed our entire timeline. For a fucking book.
Yeah, I did.
Selfish piece of shit.
Ragnar, go sit in the corner and think about what you did.
Ragnar, you remember what we said about keeping a low profile?
Allison, you said you have an informant, right?
That wasn't Ellison. That was the
I
cat.
know. You guys just talked to an information broker.
Yeah.
And you say we have about 3 days before he goes public?
3 days. He mostly is going to be able to sell that information within 3 days. It could be sooner, it could be later, I don't know. I haven't been here in 2 months.
Oh, and I think it's a good time to bring this up. While we were at the guild hall, I overheard some talk of a lot of people talking about a lot of guard jobs for something coming up.
Oh Lord.
I couldn't catch a lot of it, but I did find out there's a lot of guard jobs opening up.
Hiring? Did they say what they were guarding?
No.
Damn.
So something big
Ellison,
is
do you
gonna
know of
happen.
any festivals or anything happening around this time?
Hmm. Not as far as I'm aware. I mean, the circus is about to come around, but that's not for a few months.
And even then, they wouldn't need a lot of guards for that.
Would your friend the innkeep know about? Well, she would probably know what's going on right now. Ellison, perhaps you could bring it up over a drink?
Getting Bren to open up about literally anything is almost impossible.
What we need to do is find an adventurer as
If
one of
it's-
these guard jobs and see what it's about.
That's gonna be even harder. But it's not really opening up, it's just a matter of asking what's going on. Latest events. Me and Silky weren't able to find much at the library.
Only just a couple of articles explaining that they're cracking down on the monsters in the forests.
And I can't think of why they would be hiring more guards unless it's something big.
Alright, they're hiring... Not just hiring
Could
guards.
could your parents be stepping down?
They already have stepped down, I thought.
Did they?
Place run by a council.
Well, yeah, but
Well, even then,
as the
Why-
figurehead, though.
why would they need to hire more guards?
Alright, so right now,
If
the
they're
information...
if they're pushing your brother up as the new figurehead.
Right now, the information we have is this. The council is sponsoring a lot of jobs through the guild. The guild is hiring mercenaries to be guards for civilians, meaning that something's going on with the military. Ragnar's an asshole. Recent events are causing local forests to be removed of most dangerous wildlife. It really sounds like they're setting up for territory expansion or something like that.
Worse.
Or?
War.
Oh no.
Who would they go to war with though? Dandelier?
No.
The Fey.
I do not think these people are foolish enough to think they can go to war with the Fey.
You'd be surprised what people think
The
they
Fey
can
have
do.
innate powers that dwarf anything we can do.
The elves are descended from Fey. they've interacted with the Fae for as far back as, you know.
We need to
I-
stop this.
We can't exactly jump into another fire pit without getting out of the one we're already
know.
in.
For the war with the Fae, it's not only going to affect the elves, it's going to affect everyone. Because the Fae see
Hence
the
why
materials.
they're trying to reduce their numbers and limit the amount that's coming through.
You material,
Yes.
you material plane folks sure have a very vivid imagination.
What the fuck? What the what? Was that the mushroom?
It's Coda.
Oh.
As he's just sitting there in the window.
Give me
Welcome
a
back,
fucking
Coda.
heart attack. Hi, Coda. I mean,
Welcome
true, we do. We can't help but always think the worst of each other because we know we'll do the worst. Like someone selling out basically the entire party and putting us on a time crunch.
Yes. Well, war is a very trivial thing that the elves would do. Not against the Fae. That's silly. Elves' ancestors are Fae.
That's why I'm thinking it's gonna be Dandelier. Or one of the other kingdom.
Dandelier would be the best option. Their kingdom is in shambles at the moment.
Not to
And-
mention, if both councils are controlled, if this council is controlled by tieflings like the other one, they would use this as a ploy to get it back under their control.
Not so much as under control, they would just simply want to destroy the kingdom. I'm assuming some of you are not very knowledgeable on ancient history.
Nope. The only person here who's knowledgeable on anything older than like a couple months is Soki usually.
And I can't exactly recall any, like, major conflicts. Well,
The dwarves and elves have always butted heads.
for as long as known history has been recorded. It was the nameless king who solved all of that conflict and united the two kingdoms.
Guys, we might have to contact the farm.
I think we should.
Mhm.
At least to,
But let's wait to
Try-
see what Coda's found out.
well, yeah, I don't mean right this second.
Well, as Xavier has explained, yes, there has been talks around the kingdom a lot about extra guard work that needs to be done. More specifically, around a large event that is happening that revolves around Eight's brother.
What is
So what's
he
it-
up to?
There is a coordination happening. We were right.
It's not so much as a coronation, it's an inheritance. It's an inheritance. Sayville has been graciously accepted into the Council of the Elves itself.
Oh, so that finally passed through. Great.
There's to be a large party and a celebration for his acceptance into a seat. The guard work is to be patrolling grounds outside of the castle as the party is progressing.
And do we know in how many days this will be?
Approximately a week from now.
So it's a good time to try and break in because there's distraction.
Preparations are in order.
No, pardon me.
Well, we have technically about 3 days before word gets out.
There's nothing we can do about that now. But right now, other than the inheritance, Coda, did you learn anything else?
No, that's just the biggest thing that's going on right now.
Oh,
Well, the fact that Lady Ostrom had a baby, but that's about it.
who's that?
Oh, she's this fantastic, she's this fantastic baker that lives approximately 4 blocks down the road.
Oh, good for her.
Ellison's gonna lean up against the wall and say, I would hate to suggest this, but if this party is happening in a week, we might have to do something about Roderick.
Your information broker?
Correct.
I was thinking that too. I mean, do you know how strong he could theoretically be?
His access to magical items is,
From what it looks like, it's in a large array.
yeah. What he's capable of, I'm not sure. He's a wild card. His skills alone are almost nothing. He's almost a commoner. With proper bait, we could definitely lure him into a trap.
Uh-huh. I would hate to have to randomly kill a guy, but someone's forcing our hand.
Not so much. We might not even have to kill him.
Just keep him quiet for a while?
Capturing him would be the better option.
Good call. Alright, so now we gotta capture this Roderick fellow. We still gotta find a way into the castle and figure out where the archives are. Theoretically, somehow get a message to 8's parents, because if they are willing to work with us, we may have an easier chance slipping in and getting to where we need to be, let alone getting like a password or something for it.
Problem is, I'm not sure if they will still be at the estate, or since my brother's going to be taking the inheritance of getting into the council, if they're going to be moving.
What about the tavern your father used to frequent? We should be able to find out if he still frequents. I'm assuming he frequented under an alias.
It's kind of hard for him to actually go there and under an alias.
Not if you disguise yourself, 8.
Most people don't know what their king.
You'll see whenever you see him.
Most people don't know what their king usually looks like, but if you're saying he's recognizable, that's gonna be a pain.
No, trust me, he's recognizable.
Alright.
Let me ask you this: how many, while walking around town, what type of elves have you seen so far?
And I'm gonna be completely blunt here. There are different types of elves.
Oh shit, that's a big pile of racism I just stepped in.
Elves are sweet.
I was hoping someone was like, I'm opening up a can of racism. I'm giving someone a shot here.
It's like very much elves are like, alright, they all have pointy ears. They're all elves. Problem solved.
Tall, lanky.
Elf. And that one has dark skin. That's a drow. That's a different type of. You don't see those around here too often.
I will say this: the reason Ragnar didn't speak up is because his face is actually stuffed in that book.
So, Fizz your dad.
What was your question, Matt?
What kind of elf is your dad, 8?
He's an elf. It's more like his physical feature.
8, we've never met your father before. You need to.
Just tell us what he looks like.
Gives a description of what a beefy Canadian lumberjack would look like.
Okay. He's Halson.
So he's built more like Xavier rather than Alistair.
Yes.
That's all you had to say. 8.
Well,
Otherwise,
I didn't want to be rude.
Okay.
You're just comparing body types.
My guy.
Okay, so if your father still frequently goes to this tavern, we should be able to sit down and talk with him, right?
We should,
Yeah.
unless he doesn't get all emotional and, for me being away for so long. So
8, do you happen
Well,
to
in that
have
case, then we'll...
anything that came with you when you left? Perhaps something your parents gave you as a child that you kept with you? That they
all
would
my stuff was
recognize?
confiscated when I got put away.
They didn't let you take anything? Any nicknames
You
or...
got any weird birthmarks that he only knows about? Honest question.
Josh, what would you say would the nickname be? This would be most likely.
The only thing I can think of is I'm rolling with the Canadian lumberjack kind of vibe here.
I mean,
probably would call you like his little sapling or something. I don't fucking know.
His little maple
My
syrup.
little... I was gonna say my little maple leaf.
Do I need to pull up a certain picture again, Josh?
No, I have the picture. I have him. I know.
Do the rest of us get to see?
You will eventually.
I mean,
I just want to sneak peek. I gotta see what this lumberjack
Okay.
elf looks like, cause...
Okay, so 8. How about you and somebody else goes to this tavern to see if they can talk to your dad? I want to go back to the library and go find out some of this history that Coda is talking about.
sounds like a plan.
Xavier,
Xavier?
Ellison, want to go hog tiger rat?
It's probably something you
First
should do as a group.
First I say we hog tie Ragnar,
No, you don't have
so
to worry.
he can't go anywhere.
You don't have to worry. I'm going to be right here.
What? Why don't you come with us to the library? You got your pretty new book to read anyway.
Actually, someone should probably go with 8.
Xavier, why don't you go with 8? Alistair and I could set up a trap for Roderick.
All right.
We think of the net.
Actually, Xavier, why don't you go with Silky and
That's
I'll
actually
go
a
with
good
8.
call.
That's
That's actually a very...
honestly make more sense.
Yeah, no. After KP said that, I'm like, no, that makes more sense. This is argument validity. What you guys do today? I hog-tied a rodent?
and a dwarf.
And he's... selfish ass. He's not allowed to be left alone anymore.
The sad part is I
Two
wasn't
strikes.
alone. I wasn't alone.
But you
Yeah,
burnt
you're not allowed
one
to
of
be,
the
like-
core party members that were involved in the incident and that have been with you for the longest. Ellison only knows bits and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you seem to all have a plan on what you're going to be doing. In that case, I shall await whatever comes about this. I'll be back tomorrow evening.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Coda.
then, Coda.
Yes. Now I'm gonna go see if any more of those custards are available. He's just gonna hop down out of the window. Okay. So, day 2.
Josh, I do not sleep. I'm reading the book.
Oh God.
You do know what it takes to be able to actually do the inscribe of the magical tattoos, correct?
I believe so. What do you mean? What requirements I need?
Yes.
Yeah, you need a feat. I have an empty feat slot. I've been saving it since the level up.
Okay.
I just want to tell you, Cody.
Give me
You
a
might have
knowledge.
just wasted all that.
Knowledge Arcana.
Oh, knowledge arcana.
Okay. You're gonna pass the first check. You need to pass 3 checks in order to be able to do it.
Okay.
And you are going to be fatigued today. Alright, so Xavier, Silky, and Ragnar are going to be in the library most of the day. Alistair, you and Elizin are going to be going out and laying a trap for Roderick.
Yeah, that's how I want to say. I'm gonna look at Alison and be like, so do you have an idea where we can keep him? Because I don't think we can exactly just put him in our in room.
I was kind of hoping you would have an idea.
All right. Well, that leaves. We could take it. Can't really probably. How big is this guy?
She gives it like a 3-foot, kind of.
So if he's like knocked out, we put him in like a sack of potatoes. We can take him outside of town.
Yeah, but there's all of his belongings that I'm worried about.
So you don't want people to ransack his shop. You just want him to be out of.
I just need him to withhold on the sale of his information for a while.
Couldn't we just threaten him then? We don't really need to capture him.
Yeah, the problem with
Catch him
that,
first.
it's going to put a higher value on the information that Ragnar gave him. Which means he's going to want to get it out as quickly as possible.
That's true. So we don't want people messing with his shop. But we can't. So we can't move him far. We need somewhere to hide him. Like the obvious place would be hide him in his shop, but Lord knows there's the convenient magical item we need to capture him in there.
Let's just do some scout work for right now.
Yeah, good idea.
Just stay out of sight.
You got it.
Meanwhile, 8 in Aristella. Alright, so how exactly are you guys planning on approaching this? Just walking straight into the bar saying, hey, we're looking for the former king?
No. I'm sure 8 would be able to probably somewhat recognize him at least. But we're just going to act like regular tavern goers, I think. Is probably the safest route to go here. Eight,
I'm thinking. But I would say, if the tavern should still be there, we, enter random tavern name here. He probably should have a reputation amongst them in some way. Whether it be drinking or in pure strength. Hello?
Hmm?
I was supposed to get real
Sorry.
quiet.
You gotta think of something, because you guys walking through the city, and you come up to the tavern, named the Elephant's Tusk. And even just standing outside of the tavern, we're not gonna leave this one, because I don't want to pull up another tavern map.
Fair enough.
Even
blame you.
standing outside of the tavern, it's rowdy. Like, it is loud coming from all the people, like, mingling in the insides, shouting, talking.
Let's head in and see what's going on. And she would just walk in the tavern.
All right. You guys walk on in, and of course, people are everywhere. Lots of adventurers are in this place. You can see some people in like mercenary gear, a couple guards. Now most notably, you're going to be seeing way off to the side, to like a corner of the tavern, where there's like a big group of people that appears to be hovering around one particular pit table, and you hear like cheering and chanting and such. Can't really see past the crowd of people though. But the tavern, the bar is open, and before you guys stands the tavern keep. Tavern keep's gonna call out to you and say, "Good evening, ladies. Have a seat. I'll be right with you."
Good evening. Take a seat.
Welcome to the Elephant's Tusk. My name is Frug. What can I get for you?
Something light for now. What's going on over there? Chill.
Regulars having drinking contest.
Is it often that there's a drinking contest around here?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, quite often. There's a lot of people just have some fun around here.
Do these people usually have a contest, like, see who holds the highest record?
You must not be from around these parts. Yeah, people in this place, it only lives up to one man. One man only. Volmon.
Volmon, you say? Does he come around often?
Yeah, I could say that. He's actually the one getting challenged over there right now.
Well, I suppose we'll have our drinks and enjoy
spectate.
watching the challengers here.
Too bad we couldn't bring the guys for this one. They would
I
have
know.
probably would have loved to have a crack at him.
Definitely. Well, we'll just have to let them know when we get back.
How much is it for just one drink?
Well, since it's your first time here, how about you have your first drink on me? Enjoy yourselves. Run into any trouble, give me a shout.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, at this point, you guys are going to hear the sound, like a collective cheering, as you could probably guess one of the people won the contest. Alright, and sure enough, a couple of the crowd dissipates a little bit, and 8, you do in fact see your father.
It's so funny. He almost looks like
Holy
he should be a
fucking Canadian. All I can think about is the Snitterdoodle guy from Hoodwinked.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello there,
Wiener
everybody. So
Schnitzel.
I've made schnitzel.
Schnitzel, schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Everybody loves the schnitzel. Oh, goodness. What do you think, 8? Should we wiggle our way into the fray?
Well, this will be risky, but yeah.
I mean,
We only have this one shot.
Having a drinking contest with your old man.
I could try and send Poe to fetch. Well, the one that would probably be best at drinking would probably be Ragnar.
Either Ragnar or Xavian, the dwarven gut or the beef cake.
Yeah, I was about to say Alistair's decent, but he's not. He's not built for it like those two.
Yeah, but
All right.
we don't have the sending stone.
Well, yeah. That's why I said send Poe. I don't really want to send my precious companion, but
Hey, you're in a town. What's the worst that can happen?
you know how many times I've had terrible things happen in town.
Either way, I would say just see if any of them is available with a companion.
Ragnar's available.
You're excluded from party events for the next week, young man.
Alright, so you send Poe out the window to go search for the library group.
Yeah.
How is the clearing right now for the table he's at?
There's still a couple of people around, but he's just like talking, having casual conversation. He's helping the barkeeps like stack all of their mugs of ale that they just devoured.
Jacob, here's what you gotta do. You gotta walk up to him and proudly declare that you're his child, and then stand there unmoving.
You know.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
The exiled princess here in the middle of a tavern.
It worked. It works for me. The long dead son.
Oh god.
Yeah, even though I'm disguised right now, he would.
Let's
he
go over
wouldn't
there with
recognize
our drinks and just chit chat.
until Ragnar gets here.
Well, did you send Poe for Ragnar or Xavian?
I would actually
For
recommend
both.
For both? Okay, fair enough.
I would say Ragnar first.
Because I can't just grab Ragnar. He's not allowed to be left unattended.
Either way.
Silky is safe in a library.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
We mainly need Ragnar for this.
Alright, well, while you guys are waiting for Poe, you guys walk on up. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. We've been hearing about the reigning winner here, and we had to come see for ourselves.
Ah, yeah. This is a cat-friendly competition. It's not very often I see two fine ladies like yourselves in here. Unfortunately, at least for you, but not so much for me. I am, in fact, a married man, happily married. So, if you're looking for a fair night,
We're quite flattered, sir, but that's
Oh God, that's bad.
It's like he just cringes at hearing that. It's like it's not visible to her. It's like, oh my god, why?
That's my dad.
Eternal screaming.
we're just some adventurers that came to see what all the fun was about.
We just
This is
recently.
our first time in Elendor, so we're touring the sites while we can before work calls.
I see. I was surely hoping that one of you two, were not going to be challenging me.
Oh no, no. I'm sorry, I can't hold my liquor like that. But I know one of our guys. Well, two of our guys. They might be able to hold up against you.
Oh, really now? Well, if they're willing to come down and give the reigning champ a shot, I'd be more than happy to accept.
I've sent my bird friend to go fetch them, seeing as how they quite enjoy their drink, so thought they might enjoy a bit of fun.
Fair enough. I just hope they're here by dark, otherwise my wife is gonna kill me.
Fair enough. It shouldn't be too long.
Anyways.
Oh,
So perhaps while we wait, you could tell us some stories of Elendor, seeing as we're new. We just arrived within, well, haven't even been here hardly a day yet.
but of course. You all seem to be right adventurers yourselves. Surely you have stories to share as well.
Oh, we have
We're
plenty of stories.
we have some stories, but we're still fairly new to adventuring, so I'm sure they're not quite as exciting as the ones you may know of. After all, I'm sure you come across far more adventurers that are far more seasoned than us.
So you're all still fresh meats, I see. Well, there are a couple of stories I do know about. And he just starts like rambling off about a couple of stories. Meanwhile, at the library, eventually Xavier and Ragnar, Poe is going to show up.
Hey, bird.
Bird makes noise.
He's just gonna
Squawk.
He's just gonna stand there and look at the two of you and go squawk.
Remember, I could actually talk to it.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. My mistress
I'll
wants
never
you to
get used to
come. White,
My
what is
mistress,
it? The elephant's tusk?
my mistress requests your presence at the elephant's tusk.
What bird say?
What did they get themselves into?
Drinking contest. That'll get them running.
So we're gonna go.
You really?
Oh, I gotta see this shit.
You relay this info to me?
Yeah, I relay it.
Okay. I don't even stop to wait for you. I'm going to burn every single one of my movements to get there as soon as possible.
Just Silky pokes her head up behind her wall of books. Wait, what's going on?
Drinking contest.
Oh gods.
I'm quite literally blinking all the way over. I saved one. Let's put it that way.
Aristella has requested me and Ragnar at the Elephant's Tusk for a drinking contest.
Okay, as long as Aristella's there, there's someone responsible. Don't cause them too much trouble.
We probably already
I'll
opened
try.
a couple up.
First to arrive.
So,
You are here really fast.
I
Yeah.
forget
You see the bags under his eyes.
Just immediately, Ragnar just appears behind you guys.
Oh,
I heard drinks.
I forget you could do that quickly.
You
Oh,
don't
that's-
look in the best of shape, Ragnar. Are you okay?
yeah.
It looks like you need some sleep.
I need a drink.
Well, come to the
Are you
right
able
place
to-
then.
It would seem. Are you the famous, whatever it's called, drunkard of this bar?
Drunkard is the wrong word.
I
I think he'd probably prefer that word.
You should have seen how many mugs that they had at this table when we got here.
Ragnar's
How many
kind of
people he
stretching.
drank under the table.
It's like, you ever drink a dwarf under the table?
I've drank in many dwarves under the table. But, unfortunately, I can only do at least one more competition today. I don't want to come home completely blackout again.
Well, all right.
Well, maybe you can
Save it.
after. The
Okay,
contest,
how
you
about
could go-
this?
Oh, go for it.
How about this? We'll do 2 different types of competitions. Is that okay?
Alright.
You could start with a drinking contest with this one. Afterwards,
Wait,
I
what?
want a little bit of a different competition between me and you.
What kind of
Dwarves
competition?
are famous for being hard-headed.
Oh shit!
Oh, you were talking about one
I
of
hate
them.
how
You're talking about one of them. Well, damn, what are they called?
bloody foreheads.
Bloody forehead.
Yeah.
my-
Bloody... And all I can think about is bloody
Oh,
knuckles when he
no.
said that.
Ragnar, are you going to do what I think you're going to do?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what
Why
I'm
do you
doing.
think? I said
No!
I immediately need Ragnar for this.
Oh, this is gonna
Cody,
be,
I thank you for this.
Honestly,
this is gonna be
this
fucking
is
amazing.
smart. I hate how smart and stupid Cody's character is in the same time.
That's why
Oh
I said
my
I
God.
need Cody for this. If he was here, I need Cody for this. I mainly need Cody.
All right.
As soon as you said you needed me, I knew what you wanted.
Okay, but we're going to converse first
Oh,
while they're
okay.
drinking.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's not a problem.
So of course, he is definitely going to stand up and proclaim to the rest of the tavern, "All right, Elephant's Tusk, some new fresh blood is at the table today. Let's see how well you hold your liquor, lad. Frog, bring him forth." And then the barkeep just reaches down, pulls out a big tray. It has like 14 already pre-dispensed mugs of ale. Just brings it out, sets it down on the table. All right, there you go. This is coming off of your tap. I hope you know that. Yeah, I know. All right,
He's a king.
sure your wife is gonna be all right with you spending this much gold. She'll understand. You know her. Yeah, I know how scary she is. I'll go prepare some more.
It's gonna lean into her, so just like that's an understatement.
All right, lad. What's your name, first of all?
Which one?
You're
You.
the one who's drinking at him.
Alright. Xavian.
Xavier, where you hail from, Xavier?
The Grimlands.
Ooh, a desert dweller. Alright. I do happen to know a couple people from the Grimlands. They're almost as hardy as the dwarves.
Yeah,
Feel,
been
I feel like
Hmm?
Who would you know from the Grimlands?
Oh, no,
thinking aloud.
I know quite a lot of people actually. Most of them are heavy adventurers.
Anybody well known?
Well, I do know a long time ago, I had to exchange a couple of letters with the Thrasher himself. But never really met him in person before. He
Thrasher.
seemed like an alright fellow.
he has his moments.
Oh, do you know Mythos?
Yes, he is my father.
Shut up. You're the son.
Xavier's the only one
You're
who
the
can, like,
son of the Thrasher.
Yes.
Xavier, the only person who can disclose his heritage without like repercussions.
Yep.
Well, I'll be damned. Never thought that I would see you up this far north, though.
Circumstances has been
Interesting.
yeah.
Oh, alright then. Alright, Mr. Lamora. Let us begin.
Oh boy. I'm waiting for the nat one right here.
I'm waiting for
Just
that one.
instantly.
So
Alright.
fortitude.
Yeah, give me a fortitude save.
Whew.
Alright, couple of drinks start going down. Feel free to converse and ask him, like, literally anything.
Trying to think of questions that wouldn't give shit away.
So,
This is
sir, you
time to
said
be doing it.
you had a wife. I assume that means you perhaps have more of a family?
Oh, of course. Of course. Well, I do have a wife. I have a son who is actually looking to be getting into a seat of the council.
Oh, I think we heard about that. The guild or Adventurers Guild is posting for guard positions.
That's correct, yes. His coronation is about 6 days from now. But I
You
have
must
my
be
wife and my
very
daughter.
excited.
I'm thrilled. I'm proud of him, honestly. Then, well, there's my daughter.
Oh, did she pass?
Hard to say. I'm not entirely sure where she is at the moment.
Why do you say that?
She's made some mistakes. And, well, a father can't hate it. A father can't exactly despise his own blood. Am I disappointed in what she did? Yes. But it still doesn't justify complete exile. Part of me just still wishes that she's alright.
He thinks you did it.
Do you happen to know the description of her? We may have probably come across her during our travels and probably not know it.
Well,
Guys. Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
Who we lose?
Matt.
Matt.
Oh.
Well, she was a scrawny little thing, long hair, very in touch with her nature. Gives like a pretty accurate description of 8. If she was like 50 years younger. Xavier, fortitude save.
Oh boy.
So I missed all the explanation of 8's fuck up.
There was no explanation.
There's no explanation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was dancing.
Oh, Sabian!
He's dancing around
it. Dancing around it. He's gonna take another drink of his mug and he's gonna go, "Oh, that one was strong. Oh." But yeah, there's this big party going on for my son. Not really one for formal events. That's more of the wife's doing.
So you used to be king of these lands, correct?
Once upon a time.
What made you decide to
Step down.
give your seat of power up?
Now, let's be completely honest, it's what the people wanted. They saw how well the council was doing in silence and figured that it would be better to have multiple voices to make rules and decisions instead of just 2.
Could I ask you a personal question then?
No.
You heard about what happened in Dandelier. I'm sure of it.
Tragic. Truly tragic. People these days just don't remember history. Well, mostly because their lives are a lot shorter than the elves. They just don't tend to remember as what the world had to go through in order to obtain this era of progression and peace that we've been living in for so long.
You're not concerned of your own council?
We were, obviously. We were. But a thorough investigation was ran through the council. Of course, elves are akin to magic as we are, and never found any traces of the tieflings.
That is interesting.
Xavier, fortitude save.
How long can we go before Xavier blacks out?
Ooh.
He's holding his own. Holy fuck.
Xavier came back with a vengeance.
The story sobered him up.
I know, right?
Yeah, but yeah, history is honestly very very far-fetched these days. Well, with rumors of with Dandelier's collapse and rumors of the tieflings infiltrating the surface, rumors of the Lightbringer. It's
rumors
a
of the
lot.
Lightbringer.
What?
That's news.
You haven't heard?
No.
No.
Oh, according to some rumors on the roads and such, people have speculated that the Lightbringer is apparently on Luavara.
Oh? What makes them say that?
Well, shortly before Dandelier's collapse, there was a sighting of star metal that escaped eyes of the dwarves somehow, forged within a weapon attached to this adventurer. But they were never able to apprehend them or even know who they are.
No description on that adventurer?
Not that I can remember at the moment. But the rumors of the Lightbringer are a good thing. They are a good thing. Hopefully, in that case, then, they'll be able to return to silence and then put all of this lockdown and embargoes to hold and finally open the doors to get everything back to the way it was almost half a millennia ago.
It has been quite some time.
Oh, you're telling me. You're telling me. Dealing with governments nowadays is just far worse than dealing with the governments that were.
Dealing with other kings?
Yes, exactly. Dealing with other monarchies during the time. At least we had the Nameless King. Oh, that man did so much work for us.
You met the Nameless King?
Many years ago. He was a good man.
What could you tell us about him?
Xavier, give me a port save. Well, I was just still a boy when I took the throne. The Nameless King, he was a dreamer, I could say. Very, very powerful for a human, at least. Not so much with magic, but his swordsmanship was by far some of the best I've ever seen. He had a vision for Luavara, and to be quite honest, at the time, with the constant threat of war between the sands and the beasts, and the dwarves and the elves, establishing the Kingdom of Silence was most definitely a good idea. Reuniting the kingdoms and rebuilding Silence was the best thing that Luavara has done, I would say, in the last few thousand years. My father used to tell me a bunch of stories regarding on how bad things were. Well, of course, that was until the brothers left. Once they left, it's continuous in an era between light age and a golden age and a dark age and a golden age, a dark age.
At this point, Ragnar yawns.
I hate to interrupt, but who are the brothers?
We talked about them. They were the travelers. Remember the fairy tale?
Oh, you're not familiar with the tale of the two brothers. Well, the story goes.
Just briefly.
The story goes. It's an older one. Not so much as an oldest one as the Knight and His Maiden, which is also based off of a true story.
That's a new one.
Give me knowledge history rolls, all four of you.
Yeah, because we've heard the two brothers. I don't know if we've heard the Knight and the Maiden.
Ragnar, the Knight and the Maiden is Silky's favorite story.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
I knew that.
Yeah. The Knight and the Maiden is that really, really old and tattered book that Silky always carries around with her.
I completely forgot about that.
Yes, The Knight and the Maiden is a story based off of a true story, but the tale of the two brothers, they were two brothers of good and evil, immensely powerful, one of the greatest warriors ever to be born in Luavara, and his brother had a very strong connection and a knack for magic, especially the dark arts. But eventually, they grew to the point of they were so powerful that they ended up fighting each other, causing havoc throughout all of Luavara. As the story says, they were in a bout, and apparently they caused an issue within their own family. I need to have him make rolls now because he is getting absolutely destroyed by Xavian right now.
So why does this story sound familiar?
Something about a sibling. I can't remember, but eventually they gathered enough strength in order to go to some sort of embassy within Luavara and continue to eventually get invited to Demrin. And once they went to Demrin, well, they were never seen again. Where they went, no one knows. Rusty, fortitude save.
Damn.
Fuck, Rusty may actually win the bet.
Hey, Four, you're not spiking these any heavier than normal, are you? I think it's about time you had enough, though, Your Majesty. I ain't no quitter.
Perhaps we can continue this another day?
Aristella, roll me a diplomacy roll.
Yeah, for the love of God, we can't have him too drunk
Yeah.
during Bloody Forehead.
No, that's when I take him home and tell him his wife.
Please don't. That's the last freaking thing we need.
Well,
Is another, like, accused abduction.
well, I mean, I told you all about a bunch of stories of Elendor and stuff. None of you told me any good stories.
Ragnar,
we
tell him a
happen to
story.
No, let me.
Okay.
We happened to be in the Boreal Tides when I'm sure you heard of.
Ridergeddon.
What happened to Ebon Keep?
Oh, oh, the dragons destroyed it.
So we happened to be out in Ebon Keep when the destruction happened.
Really?
Yeah. It was quite a
Okay.
mess afterwards. We hoped
was-
to kind of straighten up a bit.
The dragon was massive,
Quite chaotic.
covered an entire field. Wingspans reaching from mountainside to mountainside. I'm exaggerating, of course. It was
Not really.
massive.
Not really.
That thing. His wingspan took almost that valley.
Whoa.
Filling the valley with his just humongous form.
Well,
And
you all are lucky to have seen a dragon in its full form. I've only ever spoken with the dragons when they're in their people looks.
Yes, their human form. It's it was quite an experience.
Oh, it must have been traumatizing.
It's not
Not-
what I wish to relive anytime soon.
Not as traumatizing as our first adventure. I think you'd like that story better.
Oh, please do tell.
Dear Lord.
We
Rusty
ended up
fortitude
having to
save.
take
Are
We
you
ended
talking
up having
about
to
the Skinwalker?
Goblin Camp.
Oh, that one. Okay.
There we go.
Oh.
I had a good run.
No, well,
soon as-
Rusty, he is way far gone already. Like it's just starting to hit you. You can very, very easily tell he is gone.
Oh God.
We should have played Bloody Forehead first.
Like you won the competition 3 checks ago.
God.
So I started talking about the Goblin Camp and how it went from one situation to another, and there were magical goblins in the camp, and they had fireball. Like how dangerous the situation was, how quickly the fire was spreading.
Oh, it could have gone so much worse than it did.
Absolutely, yes. And it was our first adventure.
Wow.
Thankfully, our senior adventurers came along and helped us put a stop to the fire. We did get reprimanded for it.
Alistair sneezes in the.
Yeah, we did get reprimanded for it, but it was really out of our control.
Oh, I mean,
It was,
of course, you new adventurers facing magics that are above your levels. I mean, good on your seniors for helping in that.
are you okay, sir?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you
Perhaps
sure?
we
slurring.
can leave the Bloody Foreheads contest for tomorrow.
Oh,
Do you
oh,
have a...
dear, don't worry. I'm alright. This is avian. I must admit, you definitely have your father's liver.
I thought you hadn't met his father in person, sir.
The stories of my father's drinking are legendary.
Oh,
Oh, you're right. I haven't.
Are you sure you'll be able to remember this?
I'm gonna look over at the tavern keeper. Does he have anybody to
Pick him up.
pick him up?
I'll call his wife.
Thank you, sir.
Oh God!
This actually may be more beneficial for us.
Alright, dwarf, come on. And he slaps his chest a couple of times.
Oh God!
I believe I owe you a competition as well.
You do owe me a competition. But I do believe we should wait until your wife is present.
Nah, she's a stick in the mud. Come on.
All
But
right.
she'd be the perfect referee.
You asked for it. Let's headbutt.
Oh boy.
So what are you telling him exactly?
Let's do strength to strength. See how hard we hit each other.
Alright.
What
Oh my God!
Oh no! Ragnar's gonna get knocked out.
Oh no!
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah. But the spells still go off.
That's the thing. What information are you telling him?
And how are we
you didn't
supposed to relay
specify.
the information to his mom?
You're gonna have to wake my ass up.
Come get the smelling salts.
Do I
That's
have
it, KP. This is your whole thing.
do I have a remedy on hand? It's the question.
So, DM.
Hold on.
Oh boy!
Hey DM. Guess what?
I wanted to take a picture of it. I didn't touch it. It's just
What happened?
Not 20.
Ragnar's knocked the hell out
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh my God!
against a 3. He is knocked out.
Alright, so
Well.
first of all, Ragnar, please
Mhm.
explain to me what you are showing this guy.
Okay. So, I am showing him every aspect that I can recall of his daughter. Her journeys with us, all of her actions, everything. Everything. He is
Oh.
seeing it all, plain as day, from the eyes of Ragnar.
Oh Lord, this is
He
This
is
is going
going
to
to
so
hear.
really quick.
He's going to hear about Luavara, like everything that we know, he now knows.
Oh boy.
This is a
Oh.
very dangerous.
Yeah,
That
It's a
it is.
dangerous
just went
gamble.
Dangerous
He
gamble.
is also going to see everything that happened with Dandelier and that we are the ones responsible for it.
Oh boy.
He's also very drunk to aid our
Ye-
case here.
He is drunk.
Hope it.
Now, DM, I haven't done this before. What members does he show me? It's a two-way street. And he's drunk right now. He doesn't really know what's going on.
Cody, what specific ability is
That's
this
just a lot of him with the
on your
misses.
character sheet?
What's up?
What specific ability is this on your character sheet?
It's a spell.
What spell is it?
Can you post the spell, please?
Yes, please.
Mind Leap. Is it a two-way street? No, it's not. Okay, I thought it was a two-way street. My apologies.
Cody lied.
But I could swiftly communicate a large amount of complex information in an instant
Oh my god.
that could be explained within 10 minutes. I can send visual images, emotional sensations, and use and it isn't language dependent. He basically gets a movie reel,
How dare
like it's like the B movie script going. Every time they see B, it goes faster and faster and faster.
we're so
Gonna end up
fucking
with
dead.
a massive migraine.
So this is what I like to think is I collapse, but so does he. Because I flooded his
God.
brain.
You flooded a drunk man's
So
brain.
wait a minute. Do the images that get shared happen simultaneously? Or is
Everything
it
happens-
or is it you give him all the information and then he gives you information, or vice versa?
No, he doesn't. I don't get any information from him. I am linking my mind to his, and that's it. I'm sharing my information to him. It is instantaneous. He gets all of this instantly.
But it
And it
doesn't say what
contains-
order it's in or anything. It doesn't
Mhm.
specify.
Okay, but then when he headbutts you, you get information.
No,
No.
no, the spell doesn't work like that. I thought it did, but it doesn't. I can only
There was
share
a
information
misspeak on
I
Cody's
have.
end.
Yeah, it says you decide what the target learns, limited to any amount of information that otherwise could be communicated in 10 minutes. So it's just him giving information. Ragnar's not getting any information back.
And you don't have to headbutt to do it.
Okay.
You just touch a creature.
He just likes to do
You just
it.
choose to do it because you're an
I
asshole.
flavored it that way. Yes.
Yeah.
I flavored it that way.
Cody's a dick. That's
It's
long
like-
and short.
Our characters, we don't know that it requires a touch. We think it's just a headbutt.
We don't.
Okay.
That's the way he was taught. What the hell are you talking about? He doesn't know.
Well, we don't know that.
Okay. So then, what were you saying about him sharing information to you? Like, what causes that?
Nothing does. I was wrong.
Nothing. It was a
He
Okay.
misread
Cody-
the
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
That was a mix-up on my part. My
that is
apologies.
it was a Cody blunder.
I read link your mind to that of a creature touched, and when I think linked mind,
Yeah,
you're
sharing information. I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, then you're not really going to get much of a reaction out of him. But he is going to take you, like, both of his hands are going to wrap, like, completely around your head. And then you are going to feel the force of this guy just slamming his skull into you.
Yeah.
So he drops.
Wow,
He drops.
so shocked.
He drops Ragnar. Ragnar goes limp, and you can see a sizable dent in his head.
I just dropped my
honestly,
0 rate.
No, you don't instantly drop this.
This is karma for selling us out. This is karma for selling us out. Because now I have to go catch a rat.
So as Ragnar drops limp, your dad is gonna throw his hands up in the air. He says, "I win." He's gonna fall back on his chair, and he's out.
It's like,
Oh,
does that make it a tie?
Only
Wake up Ragnar, at least, guys.
How?
He's just unconscious. Use some smelling salts or something. Put your finger in his mouth. He can throw up.
It's probably better to just leave him like that. He can't do anything if he's like that.
Yeah, but he can't tell the queen what... I mean, you could just... tell the queen.
If they have questions, they will find us.
Fair enough. I'm not part of this.
Well, I'm assuming you all are done.
Yeah.
It seems like it. Though, at this point, I can't tell who the winner is.
Well, your friend here definitely lost the headbutt. But congratulations to the son of the Thrasher. You win prize.
I imagine, like, at this point here, like, Xavier is just very still. Eyes kind of, like it just...
He looks a little sleepy.
He's gone stupid drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. Just...
So, Frog is going to come over, collect all the empty glasses. He's going to come back. He's going to put a chest in front of Xavier.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Hey,
how much money did we just make?
That's the collection of all the poor saps that challenged before you.
Oh, God.
How can you use my father to swindle him?
This isn't a swindle.
If anything, your father is swindling people.
What? His wife's gonna be here in a couple minutes. You guys can stay, you can go. It's completely up to you.
I think we'll stay. I mean, after all, we're partly the reason why he's like this.
So we might as well give her our...
Apologize.
Yeah.
Alright.
Your funeral.
You're the one unconscious, Cody.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I said it.
About 15 minutes later...
Oh boy.
The door opens up again, and 4 guards enter the tavern. I'm not actually going to put 4 guards in the map here. But just know there's 4 of them. And of course, who is 8's mother.
Eight's lineage makes no sense.
Exactly.
She's so pretty. Maybe.
No wonder she's all messed up in the inside. Can't get her magic right.
She's going to enter. She's donning a large cloak. Hood is up. Just looks around and goes, "You tell him once, doesn't listen. Tell him twice, still doesn't listen. Frog, how much do I owe you this time?" "I'll send it to the castle, ma'am."
Welcome back.
"Thank you. I apologize for the distress." "Well, I'm used to it by now."
Am I awake by this time?
Yes, around this point you're awake.
Yep. How do you feel?
Throbbing headache.
You're not the only one.
Good.
And who might you all be?
The latest competitors against your husband.
I see.
And current victors.
Well, one of us a victor, one of us a failure. I hate to be what's the word I'm looking for? Conspicuous about this. But if your husband wakes up and has any questions for us, he could find us at this tavern. And I give him the address of our tavern. The name of our tavern. We'll be in room 6. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of questions when he wakes up.
That's if he remembers it.
He did drink quite a bit there.
Yep. One of the guards will take the parchment. The other two are struggling to lift them up.
Xavier, maybe you should give him a lift home?
I don't think Xavier's in any shape. I think we might be having to help Xavier home.
And you're the only guy who can do that? Not with you. No, Cody can do it. Now you think about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't get over encumbered, so yeah, I can do it.
You're gonna see Eight's mom just walk around the table. She's gonna bend down, just hover over his face. She's gonna blow into him. And his eyes are gonna jerk open and say, "Oh, hi, honey."
Doesn't take much to wake you up.
I could explain.
It's our fault.
This is our fault.
Oh, dear, come on. It was a friendly competition.
And there's a dent in that man's head.
We will discuss this later. Let's go. We have more preparations to make. Right. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for your stories.
You got them all, right?
For the most part.
Shake his hand and do it again. Or shake the wife's hand.
I tried to do that with the parchment. But the knight took it. Alright. Well,
tell you what. How about this? Where did I put it? Hold on. He's gonna start digging in his pockets. Here we are. Ugh. Well, besides his victory at this point, yeah, give this to your friend as a thank you. And I hope to hear more of his stories.
Who?
Whoever takes
Damien.
it. Whoever takes it.
Why don't you grab it?
I'll grab it. What is it?
It looks to be like a sealed scroll. Come, dear. Let's go. Yes, Sonny.
Intriguing.
And they're gonna leave.
Detect magic.
Scroll is magical.
Okay.
Can you tell what kind?
We should probably head back to the tavern.
Yeah,
Agreed.
we still got to get that one home. Or that one back. Ragnar, care to do the honors?
All right. If you say giddy up, I'm gonna drop you.
Ragnar, as far as you're able to tell, this scroll is emanating divination magic.
Okay. Interesting.
That's honestly intriguing.
Alright, and eventually you guys thank Forg and make your way back to the tower.
Woo!
At this point, Alistair, Elizin, Sos, and Silky would have returned, and Kodo is waiting at the window.
Meanwhile,
Alright.
we're
Well,
bringing in a drunken.
Oh, he's passed out.
Yeah,
Someone grabbed the chest, right?
yeah,
Good.
yeah. We would have got the chest.
All that money?
Come in, kicking down the door like we procured funds.
We got funds.
What?
As we throw, I can't throw him. I lay Xavian down onto the floor because I can't pick him up onto the bed.
Yeah, we're gonna need help with this one.
I pick up Xavier and put him on the bed.
well, you lot seem like you've had a rather interesting time.
What on earth did you all do?
I have like a
I had a drinking
giant
contest with my father.
Was that a good idea?
After
guess.
he asked if me and 8 were flirting with him.
Yeah,
Ew.
I was
That's better.
Ugh.
cringing at that.
I don't blame you, kid.
Oh
It doesn't
man,
help.
Rather
I'm just-
awkward.
Hey, if you weren't cringing, I'd be more concerned.
no. What's more terrifying is if he realizes after
If you
the exchange of
Realizes-
information.
do you
Oh,
think you
Yeah.
got all that information?
did you
It
tell him?
might take time to process.
Mm.
We were kind of in a tavern, not the place to be using spoken.
I
That's
headbutted
fair.
him.
Oh, you did that.
Oh.
Wait, you did that on the drunk guy? That's
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Hmm.
pretty drunk at the moment, so I'm
Nah.
not sure how much of it's going to.
Hit him.
Regardless,
away.
me and Ellison are still trying to figure out a plan how to deal with the other problem Ragnar did.
The good news is, it seems like my mother and father are doing very well.
I'm very glad to hear that. Good for you. We have to deal with the rat.
So, where's the problem?
We didn't lay a trap yet. We tried to just study his movements.
We have an
We're
idea.
trying to figure.
We have an idea where he goes every day.
Yeah,
It's just we're trying to
The
figure
prob-
out where to put it.
we're trying to figure out where do you put a captured individual where he can't cause an issue, but also doesn't leave his entire giant magical emporium unguarded.
You don't capture him, you bribe him.
I mean, Roderick is. He's a creature. But if we're going to buy his silence, we don't have enough funds to do so.
No.
What kind of creature is Roger? Is he a woken rat?
No, he's a rat folk.
Okay. It was a good question.
I see where you're going at that, but still, we just need to figure out. There has to be a solution to this. I don't got anywhere near enough funds to deal with the guy. We
As
can't
he-
just outright
What I
kill
can
him.
do here.
As 8 opens up the chest to see how much was in there.
What happened to, or what might have happened to Ragnar gives me an idea. Let me see. Let me
Also-
communicate with Poe and see what I can come up with.
Also, for Ragnar, can I see that scroll you were given?
Oh, yeah. I hand over the scroll to you. It's probably best if you open it anyways.
I would open the scroll.
And you can read magic, correct?
I don't have read magic. That's
When you can't read it, oh yeah, we would.
Yeah.
We'll let the bookworm do it.
Bookworm.
Whoa.
Mhm.
What did he give you?
You said you won this off of your dad?
Well, points to Xavian.
Potato.
What is it, Silky?
It's a scrying scroll.
Wait, what?
Why is he just carrying around a scrying scroll?
Why did he give us a scrying scroll?
Someone who's magically inclined looks at almost the entire rest of the party. How does scrying work?
It's kind of like... How can I put
Was it
this?
two-way or one-way?
Usually it's one way, but the people who you're scrying on can detect whether or not they're being spied on.
So we
It's
either
just a
need to
matter of
choose
how
who we
sensitive they are to.
To magic.
So we either need to try and scry. So there's two options with this. One, your dad just gave us a scroll scrying because he's a drunk. Two, he wants us to probably use this on him to meet him at a different location.
Check if there's anything
Those are my-
on the anything else on
I
the
didn't write
scroll,
it.
anything that might.
No.
He didn't write it there, did he?
No, it's just a scrying scroll.
He just had it on him.
And it's a matter of trying to figure out when to use it, I
Intense.
guess.
Well, we could definitely hold on to it for now.
How much gold was in that chest, 8?
350 platinum.
Yes. Oh,
Huh?
what?
Just
Pardon me?
Yeah, 8 just tips over the chest. There's no gold in the chest, only platinum coins.
Oh dear Lord.
So we have 3,500 gold pieces, basically?
No,
Avian
no.
does.
That's 35,000 gold?
yeah.
And it's
Like
not
I
we.
said,
It's Xavian that has it.
it's Xavian's. He earned it rightfully. But remember when I said my dad's not a typical elf? Ragnar, now do you understand?
I mean, for as many people as
Fuck,
he
is your
drank
dad
under
a
the
bear?
table before we got in there.
Ragnar, would you do the honors?
I only had one use of that spell prepared,
Oh.
but yeah, he's a bear.
Christ. Alright, so now we have a fuck ton of money. Elzen, how much plat do you think it would take to buy off a rat?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. You know, it all just depends on how
Then
valuable he sees that information.
True.
But the thing is, if we ask him to hold on to it for longer, perhaps that could drive up the selling price.
It will. Any action we take to minimize the impact of the information is going to cause him to see that there's more value in that information than was initially led on. Now, of course, did you just give him your first name, Ragnar?
Yeah, I didn't give him any more than that.
That's gonna help us a little bit. Ragnar's, though, not a common
That
name.
buzzing. I will go crazy. Okay.
I think we stick with the kidnap plan. Still gotta find a place to hide him.
Does he carry his magical wares with him, or does he have a shop?
He usually carries most of his stuff with him.
So theoretically, wherever we hide him, we just hide him with his stuff.
Oh, I think we got this.
What are you planning?
Who has contact with the farm?
I do?
Silky.
Well, tell him to prepare a cage for a rat.
Are you gonna
Ragnar.
teleport him to the farm?
Why wouldn't I?
No, that could actually work.
I kind of think that's a little extreme.
Alright, it's a little extreme, never mind.
Yeah.
Let me communicate with Poe and see what I can come up with.
I mean, we
I mean, it's
basically
better
know
than
his
killing the
movements. We
guy.
just need to know how.
I mean, killing the guy's not
Well, but
extreme,
killing
but
the guy was never the plan. Okay,
yeah,
it was the
that's what I'm
plan for
trying
like
to
a
say.
hot second for El's. Listen, killing the guy was like the plan for like what? No.
I mean,
Because that's her informant. I'm not killing him.
fucking, I could have sent him to the vault, put him in a jail cell, and I could have sent him to the archives in Dandelier. I could have put him in a fucking jail cell in Dandelier. I could put him anywhere that I have seen or been to. Exactly.
I don't really think teleporting him across the world would be a good idea.
I don't think so
No,
either.
That's
but-
gonna just any action we make is gonna show desperation.
Ellison is going to stand up and say, I think I have an idea. Give me a minute.
Please enlighten us.
Hi, sorry about that.
That's fine.
We just gotta take an action in which he doesn't know who or why he's being targeted by. Shady guy like that's gotta have plenty of enemies.
Duh, why don't we just hire somebody to take care of the problem for us? All they have
Because
to do
that's
is...
not a solution.
I'm not saying kill. I'm saying hold and detain him.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Exactly,
Me
but
and
if he sits there and
Xavier and I can go. He
starts
doesn't know what we
talking.
look like. We just gotta send we can send anyone but Elswin and yourself, Ragnar. Unless
Well,
you're disguised.
how are we supposed to find it if we don't know?
That's why we lay a trap. We know his pattern.
Ellison's gonna come back through the door. You're gonna see that she, like, her clothes are now covered in, like, bits of food. She's gonna walk.
Negotiation sale?
She's gonna walk up and slam a key onto the table. Wine cellar here in the tavern.
Sounds good to me. I don't think we need everyone to do this, though.
No,
We have a pretty good idea for a trap.
you and me are good enough.
As long as we keep Ellison's face covered, he'll never know who did it.
But how are you going to keep him quiet while you move him?
Easy. I put a fucking rag in his mouth.
Or I can just put him to sleep?
Let's have
There's plenty ways.
Let's have Aristella stand on standby. We'll capture him.
Sounds good.
We'll capture him. We'll gag him. She'll put him to sleep, and we're done.
Sounds good to me. And then we put him in the potato sack and we walk away.
Or I can do hold
Make him look like a sack.
I can paralyze him. That's what I can do. He'll be aware, he'll be able to breathe, but he can't make
Here's
any
the
action.
thing. He's a seller of magical items. He most likely has some resistances to magic. So if we go old school, we're probably in a better chance of catching the drop on him. No offense, magic is great, but when you're dealing
Are
with a
either of
magic
you
user,
able to detect if he's got anything magic on him?
nope.
Or
You might have some defensive spells in place. If you bring Elistella with you, she can detect whether or not the spells are active on him.
Right, fair enough.
Okay.
I can detect it.
Oh, can you?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you have to worry about the Fae all the time for work. So
Yeah. Magic ain't my strong suit, but I at least know what it smells like.
Libertarians.
That was out of pocket.
It was.
Alright. So tomorrow, we're gonna go catch a rat. And then we also gotta figure out what to do with this scrying scroll on top of whatever Coda has that tell us, because I'm assuming he's here for a reason.
I'm just here to keep in line,
Oh,
up
fair
to
enough.
date with all
Never
of
mind
your
then.
plans.
My
I'm-
apologies, Coda.
My part of the bargain has already been done. I'm just waiting for all of you to hold
know,
up
that's-
yours.
It's very... So, if I was gonna be a guessing man, and I generally am when it comes to anything involving what we're doing, that scrying scroll may be so Eight and her father can meet in a nondescript location. Unless it's gonna show us where the archives are. We don't know. We got no further instructions with that one. And we have
perhaps
no way
we
of...
should use the scrying scroll tonight,
No,
later in the
he's...
evening.
What time of day is it, Josh?
It's evening.
Yeah,
Give
I
it a few
don't wanna
hours
waste...
and then
I'd rather get confirmation that we're not just gonna waste it, you know?
how are we supposed to get confirmation? His wife
I don't know.
likely won't let him out of the house for at least the next several days. Until after the big event.
True.
Let's just get some rest. Deal with Roderick, and then we'll figure out when to use the scrying scroll tomorrow.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Josh.
Hmm.
Other than the incident at the bar, most of the day I spent reading. Do I get another check?
Sure. Didn't make that one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Get some sleep.
I am this time.
All right. So Coda wishes you all good night. The next day, the plan begins. Sos is going to be staying behind as you three are going to go and kidnap a rat. What's everybody else doing?
Tending a hangover.
I probably would have given you a remedy by now.
You went into that drinking contest on our ask, so you get to get remedied.
Yeah. And then I would pass the chest forward to Davian. Here's your prize.
35,000 gold.
He just like
Goddamn.
opens it up, looks at it, and just closes it like the fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want a magical item? That's the time.
Meanwhile,
Honestly,
Ragnar's
I think we could split it or put it in the group fund.
Yeah.
Ragnar's diving into the book again.
So maybe Ragnar should turn it to stone so it doesn't get stolen by the Fae.
Poor Matt.
Poor Matt.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, so we're going to be adding 35,000 gold to party funds then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put that in the card in Ragnar's pocket.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is gonna be
put that in the wrong place.
oofda.
There we go.
Alright. Woo.
All right, so who do you guys want to deal with first? Because there's going to be 2 encounters today. There's the rat, and there's the inn.
What's wrong at the end?
Guess?
You'll have
No,
to
we
wait and
won't
find
know
out.
until something happens. Well, it's almost like Ragnar told them where we were staying.
Let's start with the rat because we know what's going to happen there.
True.
Oh,
All right, so
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dip out here, guys, because I open in the morning, and I'm probably gonna have to stay late at work tomorrow.
can you hold off like 20 minutes? We're
Oh yeah,
almost
it's
done.
like what?
It is these last 2 things, and we're done, KP.
I'll hold out as long as I can.
Okay. All right, so real quick, Alistair, Elizin,
Sounds good.
setting up a trap. I need a check from you guys. Give me actually, it's more or less of how you guys are going to be trapping Roderick. Because Ellison basically suggests, hey, if you want me to, I can at least go talk to him, and then as I'm talking to him, just sneak up on him.
It's not a bad idea.
Alright, we'll do that then.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm just trying to think of because you can't really set up a net, can't really set up a pitfall, can't really set up a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna be in the wings, ready to make him go to sleep.
Why does that make me think of go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep?
Alright, fair enough. In that case, then,
Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
give me CMB checks.
All right, dice, don't fail me now. I haven't used you all evening, basically. Sorry. Okay, I don't think I clicked it. There we go.
Oh, you are so lucky
Dice,
that
it failed me now.
You are so lucky that Ailison is there. I mean, granted,
I slipped on a rock.
yeah, he's going to be taking a little bit of damage from getting bitten in the leg, but at that point, yeah.
Fighter.
I can live with that.
So as Ellison,
listen, sometimes it just happens.
So as Ellison is talking to Roderick, you know, she dives forward, he dodges, Alistair runs forward and dodges again, but then he gets bit in the leg by Ellison's wolf, drops to the ground, and then immediately Alistair gets up, cracks him in the face, and he's out.
And that's good old-fashioned kidnapping.
Okay. Aristella, let's go.
All right, I start tying him up.
So Aristella very gently, carefully pours the remedy down his throat, and you guys make your way back to the tavern with a large potato sack now.
Mm-hmm. They're potatoes for the inn, because I'm totally doing that job where I'm supposed to be moving merchandise.
Ren is just there, rolls her eyes, and just ushers you guys to just do your thing. Ragnar, you do notice that...
I gotta just give her a...
You do notice that Ren has a black eye now.
Man, Ellison's the first character I think I've ever had that had another character have the hots for. It's Alistair's kind of woman.
Alright. Meanwhile, while the kidnapping is going on, Ragnar, Xavian, Silky, 8, and Sos are hanging out in the room.
Kidnapping.
Then you guys hear a loud knocking on the room door.
I get up
Look
and
for the
go
people
answer.
first.
Xavian, you open the door to be standing face to face with 2 elven guards.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
We are here looking for Xavian and Lamora.
This is him.
Oh, never mind. They're just here for saving.
The guard is going to hold out a scroll for you. A message from the former king.
Eight's dad,
Take it
Super
and
Chad.
And yes, if it's an Elven, I can read it.
So they hand
Yeah,
you,
we all learned Elven, remember?
Yep, they hand you the scroll, they give you a bow, and then they just leave.
I will think before they go, though.
Silky just
Little
looks
Titus
over,
take-
like, the
Little
hell is
Titus
that
goes
about?
well, but we're about to find out.
You really had him going there.
As I open the scroll and hold it out, so that way both me and Silky can read it.
It reads out as the following. Dear Mr. Elmora, you are hereby cordially invited to the coronation of Sayville Heiress to the council seat celebration party. I would like to personally invite you and your friends to the event, and if you so choose to bring an additional person for a date, please do so. Your stories have intrigued me, and I am very curious to hear more from you and your fellow dwarven friend or any of your other traveling companions who wish to share any. Please note that this event is of formal attire, so using some of the earnings that you got from me yesterday,
No, I don't want to wear a suit.
please ensure that you are dressed accordingly. Signed, Volmon Eris.
Uh,
I like how the biggest complaint is having to wear full attire.
This party.
Not celebration
listen,
that this is how we get in.
I'm not there.
Yeah, he doesn't
Alistair's
know.
gonna complain. Alistair hates high society.
Alistair's gonna have to learn to just.
Roll with the
Don't
punches.
worry, 8's with you on high society bullcrap.
Yeah. Listen,
She tries
Almost-
to avoid them.
I mean, Xavier grew up in a tribal village, so.
nah, Alistair hates. I mean, he doesn't like nobles in general because he thinks they're all pricks and have too much money that they and should give it to the poor. But that's his point.
All right.
Well, well, you guys have a way in now.
Yeah. Once everybody comes back, Sabian informs everyone, "Hey, guess what? We're going to a fancy dancy party."
All you hear is, ah.
And
Question is, how do we get 8 in?
Well, I assume they're not like checking for disguise spells,
They're-
are they?
They're going to
going
be.
to.
It's
It's mandatory.
Then I
Yeah,
don't know how we get 8 in.
because
There's
the
no way.
council's going to be there. The royal family's going to be there.
It's a party for my brother.
Yeah, then sorry, 8. You're not allowed to come. It's just safer that way.
We'll have to figure something out.
We'd be going into a literal dragon's den with their treasure. To an extent,
well,
it's not worth it.
now you guys have a way in. Question is, how are you guys gonna get out?
Ah, I hate you, Josh.
Getting out is the easy part. We have scrolls of greater teleport.
Well, you guys
If
are
they
gonna have
work.
to find out next time. Next week, you'll be getting to see a fancy dancy party, but also
We're the fancy dance party.
infiltrating the Elven archives.
Yep.
Thank you all so
Like
much for
minus-
watching. Tune in next week, of course, usual time 7:30, and I would like to start at 7:30.
Hopefully I don't have any computer problems next week.
All right. Well, thank you guys so very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.